I appreciate that, Kelly. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let me get this audio right. Alright. Think I need to turn that up a bit. There we go. 93. I appreciate that so much, Kelly. Thank you so much. Putting in that work, though. I got some work to do, but I'm putting in that work. Just give me a little time. It's gonna get better. Just give me a little time. So give me 1 second. Let me do the final adjustments, and let me put on some music at least. Put on the intro, and we get straight into it. Let's see. 1 second here.
You know my city atomic, we radiate them comets. Make the lyrics go supersonic. Shift to the earth, call it plate tectonics. Whoa, beat so astronomic. Yo, trying to grow hydroponic. Though, trans, call it nirvanic dose. Griffin in super typhonic coast. Deja vu, watch as I cast it. King of the heavens, call me Anu. Started with the demons like Rahu. Spear to the left, Ishu. Journey to the planet Nibiru. That conjure man, hoodoo. Clone nigga two like Mewtwo. Deja vu, watch as I cast it. King of the heavens, call me Anu. Started with the demons like Rahu. Spear to the left, Ishu. Journey to the planet Nibiru. That conjure man, hoodoo. Clone nigga two like Mewtwo. The bar wound from the tomb. All this darkness I consume. Interference can call on Zoom. Design of mine, I am canoe. Working them scales, holy as hell. I repel, psychic spells. Ringing them bells, throwing them shells. It's clipophic where I dwell. The bar wound from the tomb. All this darkness I consume. Interference can call on Zoom. Design of mine, I am canoe. Working them scales, holy as hell. I repel, psychic spells. Ringing them bells, throwing them shells. It's clipophic where I dwell. Wearing that ring of the genie, surrounded in cloaks you can't see thee. That 93, my philosophy. Them in the stars of geography. I'm invoking them sacred names. Level my mental, reversing planes. Infamous, fuck all that clout and fame. The Kiyama, I set the whole world aflame. Captain soul, I transcend with my energy. Noah's Ark and I speak metaphysically. Underworld, you know who that ruler be. Hello Cyrus, I resurrect sexually. Others listen, the chosen receive it. That's because their true soul is vampiric. Way before Vedic or Vedic. Look at that, that's a satiric. Pray to holy queens like the Sufi. 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 Pray to holy queens like the Sufis. Grab the pen, I'm scribing on loose sleeves. As I G5S in the far deep. Call the spirits that rose from the concrete. Christ 33 like a Gnostic. Lay my true eyes on the prophets. Don't separate with composite. Aeon of the Gothics. The demisphere, I illuminate. That scholarship, I sophisticate. I step foot towards the middle gate. I alternate between conscious state. Found victory while in the Zack. Couple magic swords, plus some druid hats. That holy cat with the candle wax. The myth, the back, hidden in our rap. The bar wound from the tomb. All this darkness I consume. Interference can call on Zoom. Design of mine, I am canoe. Working them scales, holy as hell. I repel, psychic spells. Ringing them bells, throwing them shells. It's clipophic where I dwell. Deja vu. Watch as I cast his juju. King of the heavens, call me Anu. Started with the demons like Rahu. Spear to the left, Ishu. Journey to the planet Nibiru. That conjure man, the hoodoo. Clone nigga two like Mewtwo.
Yeah, we back in this bitch. What's going on, everybody? What's the deal? Let me just roll this up. Hopefully everybody is good. And if you aren't good, hopefully you will be better by the end of this. Hopefully we can provide some currency that will allow for healing if that is needed. We shall see what happens. Alright. Like 30 seconds here. Just need to wrap this up. If I could, I'll play the music again. I need like 30 seconds. So let me go ahead and play it again. Gonna bring in the spirit, of course.
You know my city atomic. We radiate them comets. Make the lyrics go supersonic. Shift to the earth, call it plate tectonics. Whoa, beat so astronomic. Yo, chronic grow hydroponic. Doph, trance, call it nirvanic dose. Griffin and serpent typhonic coast. Deja, voo. Watch as I cast his juju. King of the heavens, call me Anu. Started with the demons like Rahu. Spear to the left, Ishu. Journey to the planet Nibiru. That conjure man, the hoodoo. Clone nigga two like Mewtwo. Deja, voo. Watch as I cast his juju. King of the heavens, call me Anu. Started with the demons like Rahu. Spear to the left, Ishu. Journey to the planet Nibiru. That conjure man, the hoodoo. Clone nigga two like Mewtwo. The bar wound from the tomb. All this darkness I consume. Interference can call on Zoom. Design the mind, I am canoe. Working them scales, holy as hell. I repel psychic spells. Ringing them bells, throwing them shells. It's clip-orphic where I dwell. The bar wound from the tomb. All this darkness I consume. Interference can call on Zoom. Design the mind, I am canoe. Working them scales, holy as hell. I repel psychic spells. Ringing them bells, throwing them shells. It's clip-orphic where I dwell. Wearing that ring of the genie. Surrounded in cloaks, you can't see thee. That 93, my philosophy. Them in the stars of geography. I'm invoking them sacred names. Level my mental, reversing planes. Infamous, fuck all that clout and fame. The Kiyama, I set the whole world aflame. Captain soul, I transcend with my energy. Noah's Ark and I speak metaphysically. Underworld, you know who that ruler be. Hello Cyrus, I resurrect sexually. Others listen, the chosen receive it. That's because their true soul is vampiric. Way before Vedic, Vedic. Look at that, that's a satiric. Pray to holy queens like the Sufis. Grab the pin, I'm strapping on loose sleeves. As I chief, I invest in the far deep. Call the spirits that rose from the concrete. Christ 33 like a Gnostic. Lay my true eyes on the prophets. Don't separate, we composite. Aeon of the Gothics. The demisphere, I illuminate. That scholarship, I sophisticate. I step foot towards the middle gate. I alternate between conscious states. Found victory while in the Zack. Couple magic swords, put some druid hats. That holy cat with the candle wax. The myth, the bat, hidden in our rap. The bar wound from the tomb. All this darkness I consume. Interference can call on Zoom. Design the mind, I am canoe. Working them scales, holy as hell. I repel psychic spells. Ringing them bells, throwing them shells. It's clip-orphic where I dwell. Deja, voo. Watch as I cast his juju. King of the heavens, call me Anu. Started with the demons like Rahu. Spear to the left, Ishu. Journey to the planet Nibiru. That conjure man, the hoodoo. Clone nigga two like Mewtwo.
Alright. What's up? Alright, before we go in, I want to address something. Yeah, watch how I cast is juju. Yeah, see, every line is researched. See, that's the difference. That's the difference. I actually research everything I'm saying. That's the difference between me and everybody else. Everything is researched. So I didn't make any of that up. Just so y'all know. So when I say spirit of the left, Ishu is actually called the spirit of the left. When I say that conjure man like hoodoo, they're actually called conjure man. So it's like none of that's not just me putting words together. That's the actual titles. Started with the demons like Rahu. That's actually the story of Rahu, right? So I do my best to actually put these things together like they're supposed to be put together, right? And yes, I see you, Donald Jones. So you already know. Like that's exactly what we're supposed to be doing. That's exactly what we're supposed to be doing. Yeah, cloned in a tube like Mewtwo. As we know, for those who understand Pokemon, Mewtwo actually came from a tube, right? So none of that was just fancy wordplay. That actually all that is concise, right? I've been studying 93 lately. What you've been learning about 93? Tell me about what you've been learning. But let me address this. I want to address something very, very quickly before I go in. Because I received a couple emails. There was someone not satisfied with what I did yesterday. They didn't like it. They didn't like what I did yesterday. Delima, what you been learning about Delima? So let me speak on this. So for one, again, I'm not gonna say your name. You already know who you are. Someone was offended that I actually called women girls. So a woman got offended that when I was saying what's up guys and girls, somebody didn't like that. They didn't like it. I guess they felt I was disrespecting women by calling women girls. So I just want to address that just in case they are not the only ones that feel that way. Because they may not be the only ones, they may be the only ones. So that's why I want to address this just in case anyone else may feel the way that they feel, to the point where you got to send me an email about the shit. So, just letting it be known, there will be no disrespect of women on this channel. I cannot speak for nobody else. Do not put me in the category of disrespecting women, because I do not disrespect women on this channel, and I will not disrespect women on this channel. I actually gave women an opportunity to speak on the channel for over an hour. So there will be no disrespect of women, and I have not disrespected women, will not disrespect women. But for whatever reason, just because I said what's up guys and girls, for some fucking reason, that was disrespectful. So I want to ask the audience, again, fuck my opinion. Again, I'll leave my own personal feelings and opinion aside. So I want to ask the audience, was anyone offended, especially women, when I said what's going on guys and girls? Was any women offended? Did any woman feel like I was belittling them in any shape, form, or fashion because I referred to women as girls, which is a informal, again, we're just talking about English. In a non-professional setting, when you say guys and girls, that is not disrespectful. For example, hey, I'm about to go out with the boys. No problem, right? Because we're not talking about a professional setting. Even though we're on YouTube here, this is a non-professional setting. No one here is making money. We're all here by our free will, giving up our time when we can be doing something else. This is a non-professional setting. So the same way, I'm about to go to the bar with the boys. Nobody have a problem with that. If it's a woman, I'm about to go to the bar with the girls. Nobody will have a problem with that. But when it comes out of my mouth, it's fucking problematic. I don't understand it. But again, I'll give it to the audience. If any woman was offended by that, please let me know. You have the ability to call in if you want to and express your opinion if anybody felt any type of way about that. The next thing was, they also told me I should limit the calls to 3 to 5 minutes. My answer to that is, It was 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. I wasn't expecting a ton of people to call in. So that the ones who actually called in, I wanted to give them a platform to express how they felt. So if only 2 or 3 people want to call in, what's the point of limiting the calls? If only a handful of people want to call in. If I limit the call to 5 minutes, then nobody else wants to call in. I don't understand. However, I will reserve my personal opinion and my personal feelings. I will put that to the side and I will just ask the audience, how do you guys feel? How do you girls feel? And again, somebody is not going to like that. So what I'm going to do to correct that, I'm just going to say boys and girls. That way, the women don't feel like I'm belittling them. So I'm belittling the men too. I ain't saying men, boys and girls. And if anybody has a problem with that, you have the floor to call in or to voice your opinion. There you go. So from now on, boys and girls. Because somebody want to get in their feelings about it. Boys and girls. So I'm belittling everybody. Which again, I'm really not. But just to keep it even. Boys and girls. Boys and women. That don't even sound right. What's up, boys and women? That doesn't even sound right. Like, come on now. Come on now. Boys and girls. And if anybody feels some type of way, call in and express your opinion. I ain't a girl, but you didn't say it in a belittling way. Which you could say any title in positive or negative. Seems like a traumatic experience. It is what it is. Boys and girls. That's how I'm going to correct it. So we ain't trying to put men over women. We're not doing that over here, and I never have done that over here. I'm not doing that, and I'm not even going in that direction. We know there's plenty of channels on YouTube with men disrespecting the fuck out of women. It's not happening over here. It is not happening over here, and you will not put me in that category. You will not put me in that category. I'm not allowing it. Boys and girls. So everybody is the same. Everybody's like, don't play that shit. Do not play that shit over here. And I'm not going to limit the calls if no one else is calling in. See, I didn't block anybody's call. I know the call yesterday was kind of long, but I didn't block nobody from calling in. You didn't do anything wrong in my opinion. Again, because I don't feel that way towards women in my heart. That's the whole thing. I have no intention of disrespecting men or women. I have no intention. You've never been disrespectful towards anyone on this channel. Of course. Because it's not in my heart. It's not in my heart to be disrespectful to anybody for it. Now, yeah, I'm going to beat up on religion. I'm going to beat up on spirituality, but I'm not going to attack individuals, and I'm not going to attack a gender. Right? I'm not going to do that. So I just want to bring it to the audience because, again, I'm the one that received the email. So I'm just bringing it to the audience because you guys and girls, you boys and girls, I respect you guys. So I'm just letting you guys and girls, boys and girls, know what's going on. Just in case anyone else felt the same way. I just wanted to address it publicly because this is a public format. Wonder, was it a troll? I don't think it was a troll. I just think they feel a certain type of way because of the energy that's out here. I know the energy that's out here. I know there's plenty of men just dogging women. I know the energy that's in these streets, as we all know. I'm just letting it be known I'm not that. There's no evidence of me being that. I've even painted my fingernails black in the past for those who know. I've always given ultimate respect to the goddess. I've given ultimate respect. I get on my fucking knees for the goddess. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. I'll get on my fucking knees for the goddess. Get the fuck out of here. But again, I'm still addressing it because I don't want anybody feeling that way. That's why I'm addressing it in the first place. Because I don't want anyone, I could have just kept it to myself. I don't want anybody to feel that they're being belittled or I'm taking anything away. Because this is just energy out here in the streets and that's what everybody else is doing. I'm not going to be doing that over here, and I haven't been doing it, and it's not going to happen in the future. And I'm not going to limit anybody's call. If somebody decide to call in, I'm not going to limit your call if nobody else is calling in. Now, it would be different if I'm stopping people from calling in and I'm just letting somebody just run their mouth and there's people trying to call and I'm just not, but that's not what happened, right? But again, we're not gonna stick on that. Enough of that. Just wanted to address that publicly for anyone who may have felt any type of way. Just know this is not the place for that, and you will not get that energy from me whatsoever. You will not get that energy from me. So if I say gods and goddesses, nobody has a problem with that. All right, if I say priest and priestess, nobody has a problem with that. But for whatever reason, guys and girls, that's problematic. So I'm gonna call it boys and girls. I'm gonna just make it real. It's even. You can't say that ain't even. Everybody's boy and girl. So yes, I'm referring to grown ass men and grown ass women, boys and girls, goddammit, ladies and gentlemen. Because again, we ain't got time for that shit. We ain't got time for that shit. You saw how constructive the conversation was yesterday. Every time we come here, we try to have a constructive conversation. And that's the last week. Like, I don't even know why that was even stood out. Out of everything that was said, everything that was educational, they want to harp on the bullshit. I don't understand that. It was 2 hours of game and knowledge, but we want to harp on these fucking titles. I don't understand it. I got a new tarot deck, Brotherhood of the Light. Got all type of symbolism from Kabbalah to Egypt. Pretty amazing, actually. Salute to you for taking that step, to learning the Kabbalah, because it's not an easy thing to do. It's not an easy thing to do, so salute to you. So anyway, like I said, I just wanted to address that publicly, just in case anyone else felt the same way. So my correction is, I'm going to say boys and girls. I ain't saying ladies and gentlemen. I ain't saying gods and goddesses, because again, that's everybody else is saying that already. I'm not trying to be like everyone else. We already know we gods and goddesses. We already know we are the all supreme. We already know that we're one. We already know we're even. So there's no reason to pick apart words and make them something they're not. We don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. So moving forward, let me actually light the joint. I just wanted to get that out the way before I even bring the spirit in. So I'm going to bring the spirit in now. Get that out the way. We ain't going to talk about it no more. I'm not going to address it no more. And it just is what it is. And again, if anybody feels any type of way, the number's on the screen. You can call in. And I also have the Zoom. I have Zoom open too, so I think I have to drop a Zoom link. But again, I'll do that at you guys and girls, you boys and girls discretion. So if anybody wants to call in or Zoom, put it in the comments and I'll drop that link. So y'all have that option if you choose to take it. If not, no problem. But if you want that option, the option is there. I drop that link and the phone number is already there. You play the guitar? Yeah, you see that guitar in the back. We ain't playing around. We ain't fucking around here. You already know we ain't fucking around. It's all type of gadgets around this bitch. We ain't playing around. Anyway, let me spark this up and we'll get right into it. Because again, nobody's obligated to call in. I just give the audience the option if they choose. So we're gonna lay the game down irregardless. So let me go ahead and light this up and we'll get to it. Let's see. It's about 1:45 West Coast time. Exactly, that stream music. Exactly. So you know exactly where I'm going with that. You already know, because who rules over those strings? Who's the god of the strings? Go ahead and type it in the comments. Who's the god of the strings? I know y'all know already. Go ahead and type it in the comments. We should collab. Send me your music. Send me your music. Asha at asharenu.com. Send over your music. Lucifer. There you go. There you go. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking about releasing the old videos and shit. Thinking about using, yeah. I'll release the old videos probably by the end of the year. So I'll make all those public again. So yes, the correct answer is Lucifer. I already knew you guys knew. Okay, somebody's calling in. Let me take this call. Let me take the call. Let's see if I can take it. Yes. Hold on. Hold
To
on.
accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Okay, let me press 1.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Let's see. Okay, give me a second. Let me end this call. I see I gotta put my phone on airplane mode. So whoever just called, I'm gonna call you right back. I'm about to call you right back. I'm gonna call you right back. 1 second. Here we go. Calling right back.
Hello?
Peace, peace, peace. What's going on with you? Can you hear me?
Hey, what's up, bro?
Can you hear me clearly, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you. I got the YouTube on the TV, and I'm talking to you through the phone.
Yeah. So go ahead and just turn that down a little bit because it may cause an echo. So we want to make sure that we can be heard clearly here.
Hold on one second.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Fast track.
You can hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead. What's going on? What's on your mind?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I got a question.
No problem.
It just kind of threw me off because it's kind of a delay from the actual YouTube and phone.
Yeah. So can you hear me clearly on the phone?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly on the phone.
Yeah. So just we all on the phone. So go ahead and ask your question, sir. No problem.
Okay. How do you deal with, or have you ever experienced being possessed unconsciously while drinking?
Okay, so we'll deal with this in steps. Because I want to be as thorough as possible here. So
Okay.
when we're dealing with alcohol, we already know alcohol is also called spirits.
Right.
So, but we may not know why it's called spirits. So if we look at the alchemical structure of alcohol, in alchemical terms, it is called fire water because it is a mixture of the fire element as well as the water element. So it is the fire element that the spirit actually enters through, because we know like spirit and fire, you can say, is of the same element. So it is through the fire element that causes the spirit to come in. So when a person actually drinks alcohol, it's not necessarily the liquid, because obviously we know with the liquid, it's processed by the liver. The liver actually processes the alcohol, and actually, what'd you say?
Okay.
Oh, okay. I thought you said something.
Yeah, so like even if you enchanted with an intent,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, I guess it also depends on how much you consume too.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you may experience an entity that may try to feed off of you.
Yes.
And you may not remember what happened
Mm-hmm.
in that situation.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you place a spirit into the alcohol, or do you allow the spirit to come into you through the alcohol?
I believe that I allow them to enter as a form of libation, like incantation.
Okay. So let me ask you, have you ever set an intention prior to drinking alcohol?
Absolutely, because I always like to make sure that the bottle is purified and cleansed first, because a lot of people touch it from the distribution to the store and everything. So
Absolutely.
I won't have no negative energies attached to it.
Okay. So what spirits do you normally work with from World Pantheon? If you want to share, of course. Like, is there a particular spirit or a particular pantheon that you work with?
Vedic.
The Vedic deities?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you ingest the alcohol, you make the intention to bring in the Vedic deities, correct?
Yeah.
Now, was this occurring, like the possession that you feel? Actually, let me, I got something for you since you mentioned that. Give me 1 second. I got something for you. Give me 1 second. Let me show you a little something.
Okay.
So let me know when you can see this. Alright. Let me move this mic out the way.
Okay, I can see you holding up the painting.
Are you familiar with what deity that is?
That's dope.
I showed you this because there's an experience with this. So I just wanted to.
Krishna?
Yeah, exactly. So I just wanted to show you that I'm with you. I'm with you with that. You know what I mean? So I have some experience with the Vedic deities. I just wanted to show you that experience. So let me continue to answer your question here. When it comes to the Vedic deities, you know, that's dealing with the Kundalini, you know, with the Eastern sciences. Okay. So we're familiar with that. Now, what I've noticed is whenever I bring in those energies, it's like other people who don't resonate with it, they tend to get irritated. It irritates others. If I bring in a Vedic energy, like I may be fine, but you know, people start it kind of spirals the energy real ridiculous.
Yeah.
So you've noticed that as well.
Yeah.
So that's probably where you're getting at when you are speaking about the possession. So my thing to you is, if you decide to work with Vedic deities, the best bet is to do it outside alone. Because it's just the way that it bounces off of other people's energy. Again, who may not agree with the philosophy, who may not understand the philosophy, and these are essentially energies of war. So when you speak about possession, exactly. So you know where I'm going with that. So these are very warlike energies, even though they tend to look, you know, harmless or positive, but they actually are not. These are very warlike energies. These are energies that are not playing around, and maybe you can handle it with no problem. I'm sure you can. But you see, it can kind of spiral out of control a little bit just because of the nature of the spirits themselves. So I would say it's the nature. Go ahead.
Yeah, I actually developed an affirmation from the experiences because from my experience, a lot of them are real destructive. And I always tell myself the best creations arise through destruction because even though it can get real hectic like that, it ends up bringing a realization online of the purpose of what it's trying to reveal.
Absolutely. So then I would say, as we know that we get the light from the destruction or from the chaos, we get those revelations. So that's why it may be best to kind of, you know, be away from others, because, you know, when we're rising up our Kundalini, it rises up the blood pressure. It may give you hypertension. You know, it's just all type of, you know, that energy really begins to radiate. So when you infuse that with alcohol, it's just spiraling that energy. And again, that may be exactly what you're looking for because you're trying to get those revelations and you're trying to clear out the energy. So that may be what you're looking for. But in terms of that possession, I would say that's the nature of the Vedic spirits. So I would say, what would be the second class of spirits? So if you're not bringing in a Vedic deity, what would be the next pantheon that you would work with besides the Vedic energy? And do you have the same experience with those spirits or that pantheon?
No, I think it's a different experience, especially like if we go in the Egyptian pantheon or if I'm trying to work with the ancestors. I think it's more of the kind of like the consciousness of the deity when the personality tries to, you know, attach.
So I would say, when it comes to the alcohol, the Vedic deities may not be the best. But again, you just said you understand the chaos, you understand the madness, so you may be fully able to handle it. But it just may not be a good idea to do it within the four walls of your home. You just may want to step outside or step, depending on, the location. You may or may not have access to the woods. You may be, metropolitan area with concrete everywhere. Depending on your circumstances, you just want to make sure that you step outside because that energy tends to bounce around in the homes.
Yeah.
So all right, so you notice that. You say, yeah, exactly. So if you choose to work with the warlike spirits, you just don't want to do it at home. So make sure you're able to be somewhere where it doesn't bounce off, on the people you love, people you care for, and it causes arguments and all this. So you just want to
exactly, yeah. That's the main thing, and then you don't remember or have a recollection of those arguments or what happened. It's just you more have the side effects of how you feel afterwards, where you have to rejuvenate.
Exactly. So yeah, you know exactly what I'm saying because you have the personal experience. So I'm like, those energies are very powerful. They're very destructive, but it can be very illuminating at the same time. You just want to do it outside of the home so that it doesn't bounce off on the people you love and causes things that you weren't expecting.
Okay. Will you suggest, like you said woods or a park? Like I'm in the Vegas area too, so like I know that sometimes it's kind of hard to do that because if you're in a public place, you might have people that might walk across, or you can't really have as much privacy or discreetness with that. So I'm thinking maybe like say if I wanted to go to like the canyon or something, like I guess I have to just find my own place to kind of just set up.
Yeah, I would say like somewhere. Oh yeah, go ahead. You can finish.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah. Well, you go ahead. I was just saying, speaking in just terms of interferences, from, being out in public.
So I would definitely say you may want to check out North Las Vegas because that the areas is more spread out. You can also actually do it in the tunnels. It's 300 miles of tunnel underneath the city of Las Vegas. So you may want to, so you may want to go into them tunnels again. That's actually probably what you want to do. So just go find a safe place where you can go into them tunnels, and just where you're alone. You ain't got to, there'll be other people around, but they probably ain't gonna mess with you if you in a tunnel. So that'll give you the amount of privacy you need. And you can get as fucked up if you want to, and ain't nobody gonna do nothing to you. So I would say either go out into the desert, the North Las Vegas, where it's not a lot of people around, or find an entrance where you can go into the tunnel and you ain't gonna be seen. So you can just get your 30 minutes, hour experience in, clear your head, and you can head back home. Make sense?
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much for calling
in.
No
problem, man. Thank you for your insight, man.
Absolutely. Shout out to you. Shout out to Vegas. Shout out to the desert. I appreciate you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
No problem. Have a good one.
You too. All right. I appreciate the homie for calling in. Thank you so much, good sir. Again, I just want to give everybody their respects. Just want to give everybody the absolute respect. Because again, I know it's like 2 a.m, but you see, I guess Sin City never sleeps. If you break down what your alcohol is made of, you can correspond to deity from the Encyclopedia of Spirits that also corresponds with the spirit to further enhance the experience. Good insight, Luke. Very good insight. Definitely very good insight. I appreciate your insight on that. That is definitely correct. You can definitely correspond certain deities with the alcoholic beverages, depending on if you have an Encyclopedia of Spirits. So that is definitely good insight. So definitely pick you up an Encyclopedia of Spirits if you don't have one. So that way you can navigate a little bit, more properly to know what the results will be ahead of time. And yeah, just for future reference, for anyone who deals with alcohol or anybody who deals with the Vedic spirits, these are spirits of war. So they can very well cause arguments and tension in your home. So make sure you step outside of the home. So it may not be Vedic deities. If you have any experience working with spirits and somehow you end up arguing with your significant other or your family or friends or whatever, you find that other people don't necessarily resonate with those spirits, just use that as a cue, to do it alone, in privacy, outside the home, alone, in privacy, or someone who understands. right? Because again, last thing we want is we're trying to have a spiritual experience and we end up arguing with our loved ones, and we like it just kind of offsets the whole experience. So that's the last thing we want. We don't want tension coming into the home, and we're trying to have a spiritual experience. So just some further insights. Sometimes we may need to step outside of our home to work with certain energies because they're more chaotic, especially if you're working with clip-off spirits or the goetic spirits, any type of demons or jinns. You just may want to step outside the home, right? So let me actually light up. So yeah, as you guys can see, my weed smoking has significantly dropped. It's first joint of the day, and you see it's 2 a.m. So last time I smoked is when you guys and girls, boys and girls, actually saw me smoking. So I really, again, it's like I don't even get high anymore at this point after the fast. I fasted, did my dry fast. Weed doesn't even get me high anymore. However, it does bring in the spirit. So that which is the purpose. So again, whether you're drinking alcohol, whether you're engaging in psychedelics, or again whatever it is, tobacco, anything, whatever, because all that brings in spirits. Whether you're smoking weed, tobacco, psychedelics, alcohol, anything that alters your state of consciousness, you basically are inviting the spirit. So you want to be in full control over the spirits that you invite in. All right, so let me go ahead and light this up, and we shall continue. And again, if anybody wants to Zoom, just let me know and I will drop that link with no problem. And again, this will be my first time, so we may need to, do some problem solving. Because I see, when people call in, I see that I end up having to call them back. But again, that's because this number is actually attached to my phone. So when someone calls, it actually rings my physical phone, so I had to put it on airplane mode. So again, it's the second time we're doing this, so I'm gonna, give me about a week or so, and we get all the nicks and crannies ironed out, so everything could go as smoothly as it possibly can. All right, so again, let me go ahead and light this up here. And again, I appreciate everybody for tuning in, watching. I know it's late. I know it's real late. Again, I just want to maximize the AM hours because the PM hours be too crazy. The PM hours be a little bit too crazy. But you see the purity. Every time I come on here, it's just purity, It's completely constructive. And I believe it ain't because I'm just a positive person. It's because of those hours, the AM hours, the PM hours. Again, okay. Someone else is calling. Give me a second. Let me take this.
Back from hiatus.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2. To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Okay. I don't know. It doesn't let me accept the call. I'll be praying anyway. I'm about to call you right back. I'm going to call you right back, good sir. Give me 1 second. 1 second. I'm going to call you right back.
Hello?
Peace. What's going on with you?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Everything is good. Tell me what's on your mind, man.
Yo, man, I just wanted to pay homage, man, and just tell you, dude, that like over the years now, I've been following you since like 2015, 14, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you taught me a lot over these past years, man. I just really appreciate the work you do, man. Like, man. But honestly, that thing, what you were just talking about with Homeboy about Kundalini and working with those spirits, man, like. So I wasn't sure if that was my Kundalini even activated, but like, it was like the most intense feeling, man. And it started at the base of my spine, dude. And it was just like, I felt like infinite, you know what I mean? Like everybody around me was getting like irritated and shit, but like this shit was real. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but all I could talk it down to was it.
That was you working with the Vedic spirits, or you're speaking about just the Kundalini as a whole?
just the Kundalini. I was like dead sober, you know what I mean?
Right.
And like all of a sudden and I don't even remember like what had happened after it. I just remember like little snippets of it and me feeling like, you know, like my godhood, you know what I mean? I felt like I could do anything. I felt like I could freaking do any trick on a skateboard. I felt like I could like do some fucking like parkour type shit. Like it was crazy, man. I didn't, but I just felt that, you know what I mean? So it's like,
yeah, those because it's serpent magic. Kundalini again, it's watered down. Like what we're trying to study now is watered down. It's truly serpent magic. So that's why, you know, people are feeling possessed, because you're working with the magic of the serpent. And we know that that's the main symbolism when it comes to Kundalini awakening or whatever, enlightenment, whatever we want to call it. So the main symbolism we have for that is the serpent, not the snake, but the serpent. And we know one of those serpents is masculine, one of those is feminine, and our purpose is to fuse them together, and that's when they grow their wings. So when we see the winged serpent, what is that? That becomes a dragon. So a winged serpent becomes a dragon, and that then becomes dragon magic. So that's why you feel it's like a dragon. You feel like a dragon when you say you felt infinite, or you feel like it's dragon magic. So Kundalini, again, is soft. That's just a soft way of saying it. That's just, you know, the Eastern way. That's 2012 and beyond, New Age. But, you know, what we're really talking about, we're talking about that dragon magic or draconic magic. You know, dealing with our karma, because we know we have to. That allows your karma to be released, or your unconscious forces. And we know our most powerful self is within the unconscious, because that is our true self unfiltered. So our true self unfiltered rests within the unconscious, and again, where that dragon is, that winged serpent. So what you feel is definitely you are awakening your inner dragon. So once you look at it like that, the dragon magic, the draconic magic, dealing with your karma, it cleanses your karma, and that's what makes you feel free, because we would feel free if we didn't have karma or bad karma, because again, all karma is not bad. You have good karma and you have bad karma. So when we're able to cleanse our karma, we don't feel as heavy. We feel weightless. We feel like we can do anything, because that's the power of the dragon. So definitely continue to work with that dragon magic, because you're moving in the right direction for sure.
For sure. Hey man, so like, okay, I used to like really identify with like, you know, like being like some, like on the light side. I didn't really know about like dark light. I didn't really care about like, you know, anything like that. But like mostly lately, man, I've been figuring out like the darker energy, man, is where I'm like finding my true inner strength and stuff. And like people around me are like having like hard time, like, you know, being around it and shit. So it's like trying to find that balance, and like I'm getting into like Kabbalah and stuff, and it's just like where would you say like a good starting point with all that is, you know, with like actually getting into Kabbalah, you know?
Yes. So when it comes to the balance, when you're dealing with the Kabbalah, you can say that would be the light side, because you're dealing with the tree of life. So the Kabbalah is the tree of life, or you can say the right hand path. So, you know, you're really not going to be dealing with too much destructive energy when it comes to the Kabbalah. But when you deal with the tree of death or the clip off, that's when the energy start to get a little more chaotic. But just to answer your previous question, in terms of, you said you started in the light, didn't really care about the dark. Now you're integrating with the dark, and now you're actually seeing the results, because dark magic is more physical. So that's why when you was working with the light, you know, nobody really, you know, had too much concern. Like, okay, you're dealing with the light. Nobody don't really say nothing negative about that, because they don't see it as a negative experience. But now, when you're dealing with the dark, and you are influencing the physical plane, now people are kind of like, yo, what's going on here? And that's just because, as I was saying before, now you're rising up that dragon, because now you got the positive on lock already. So you already got them angels on lock. You got God, whatever their higher self, you know, anything in that category, you got it on lock. And again, you see the people are not disturbed by that energy, because that energy is in abundance. You know, you can go anywhere and, you know, deal with positive energy, but there's very few places you can go that actually allow you to, you know, integrate with the darkness. And that's why people start to, it changes your DNA. Your DNA codes changes. You actually change. Your physicality changes. Your whole facial, like everything changes, because now you're influencing your DNA. you're actually changing your whole being. So everything about you will change. But that's why dark magic is so forbidden and it's so mystic and chaotic, because it actually causes physical change in your body and your surroundings, because it is influencing your consciousness to integrate with those unconscious forces. Again, you are becoming the dragon you already are. It's just people are, they're taken aback.
I might be, oh, sorry.
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, I might be, like, unaware or really, but, like dark magic, like, I don't even consider myself really even doing dark magic. I don't know, like, what I could consider that. Because, like, you know, I mean, I do tarot card readings every day. And, like, you know, I connect with spirit every day. But I don't know, what would you say draws the line between, you know, chaos magic, dark magic, and then just, you know, everyday spiritual, you know, practice? Yes.
So when you mentioned the Kabbalah, because you said you wanted to fuse the two, because you may not be summoning demons, you may not be spilling blood and doing all type of seals and sigils. You very well may not be doing any of that. But when it comes to the darkness, you can say, even though Kabbalah is light, it still is influencing your consciousness, because you are influencing the forces of nature and your states of consciousness. Because we're dealing with the 22 states of consciousness, the 22 paths of the Kabbalah. Those are the 22 states of consciousness. Then you have the 10 orbs, or the 10 sephira, plus the 11 of Thoth. So those are the forces of nature. So when you're working with the Kabbalah, you are actually influencing the forces of nature. When you go from the 1 to the 10, or from the 10 to the 1, depending on if you start at the top, going to the bottom, or you start at the bottom, going to the top. So you will be able to make the decision for yourself as, okay, do I want to start in heaven and descend into hell? Or do I want to start at hell and ascend into heaven? You know, that'd be perfectly up to you to make that decision. And you will be able to tell, because you'll be like, okay, let me work with Malkuth, for example. Malkuth. See what happens with that. Versus, okay, let me work with Keter. And you will be able to tell, depending on which energy you're more comfortable with. Do I need to travel up the tree, or do I need to descend into the tree? So, right, you may not be doing anything dark purposefully, but just the fact that you're doing anything in this realm is extraordinary, because we know the average person is not. So when you feel different, your aura, it's changing your aura. So now when you sit amongst those who feel like they know you already, now they feel something different, because you are influencing everything about you. It may not be negative, it may not be dark, but you are changing your state of consciousness. You are changing your aura. You are changing the way your kundalini flows. So everything about you is changing, and the end result would be the physical changes, to the point where you may become unrecognizable. You know, to certain people who feel like they know you. Again, that's the purpose of dragon magic. To shed the skin. The serpent sheds its skin. So what you're doing is you're shedding your skin of what people think they know about you, and you are embodying who you really are. So just, you know, because you asked about, you know, just with the Kabbalah, I would say just work with Malkuth versus working with Keter, and depending on which energy you feel more comfortable with, because obviously Malkuth is more earthy, it's very earthy, versus Keter is more fire. So you got the fires of the heaven. So depending on which energy you feel the most comfortable with, then you decide which paths you want to take. Let me see. I may have a Kabbalah. Give me 1 second. Let me actually, I can show you a Kabbalah. Give me 1 second. See if I can find one. Let's see.
Cool. Yeah, I definitely think I started from the top down. For real.
You said you started from the top down?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's definitely the case.
All right. Yeah.
And like, I mean, I'm talking within just like the first, I'm like just this week been just actually gonna, you know, decided to start studying it, because I've been into Hermeticism for the past, like, I don't know, 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
And just studying that, and also the Kabbalion.
Yes.
And I never really ventured into the Kabbalah until, you know, like, just watching your videos and just doing my own research. And yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So let me, it'll be easier to show.
Is that where you get from the crown down? Is that where you get that?
No, see, when I was speaking about the crown down, I wasn't even in the Kabbalah at that point.
Oh, okay.
However, we see that it applies to everything, right? So it is a universal science, because again, it's the law of reversal. So basically, the law of reversal, that's essentially where that whole comes from. Everybody wants to start at the bottom and travel their way up. But I'm like, no, we're already in heaven. So you're starting with the Ein Sof, Sofer. You're starting in the triple stages of darkness. So you're dealing with Kether. Before you get to Kether, you're dealing with the Ein Sof, and Ein Sofer, which is the triple stages of darkness. So I would say, if you want to start at the top, start with the triple stages of darkness. Then you descend into the crown of Kether, which we see as the energy of Pluto. Pluto is the lord of the underworld, right? Pluto is the lord of Sheol, the lord, and that's why it's the fires. And that's why the Christ was crowned in the underworld. He became that Pluto. He became the Hades, or the lord of the underworld, which allowed him to transcend through the triple stages of darkness and go through that resurrection. So if you decide to go from the crown down, start with the Ein Sof, Sofer.
It's almost like grounding it down into the earth.
Correct.
Like,
Correct. You want to take that pure dark energy and that pure dark matter and solidify it into the crown of Kether. So when you descend into the underworld, you're working through the triple stages of darkness, as opposed to if you're just in the underworld, you don't know what's going on. So now you have matter and energy to work with. And then those energies begin to descend, and you decide which path you want to take. Because if you're at Kether, you can go to Bina, or you can go to Chokma, or you can go into the Doth. You decide which paths you want to take, and that's what makes the Kabbalah so unique, because you don't have to take everyone else's path. You can decide for yourself, depending on how the energies feel to you. How do you want to get to Malkuth from Kether?
Yeah, I've been trying to just like really master my emotions, man, because like growing up and stuff, I was very emotional, and like ever since I started getting into spirituality and just like awakening my consciousness, man, like I've been able to like just have more control over it, but I still find myself like in just like certain headspaces that I want to be able to control, and I think that Kabbalah is like the next step for me. You know what I mean? Absolutely,
because it is the entire map of the universe. So once you master that Kabbalah, there's essentially nothing you can or nothing you cannot do, because you are not just mastering your consciousness, you're also mastering nature, and you are starting in triple darkness. In order to master consciousness and nature, you must master the triple darkness, which then leads you directly to Pluto, or Hades, the lord of the underworld, and that's where you gain your crown. So in order for you to gain your crown, you must start with the dark energy and the dark matter, and you decide which path you take in order to descend into Malkuth. Make sense?
Man, so much.
I appreciate you so much
for calling.
Thank
you, man.
Absolutely.
Man, thank you so much, man.
Absolutely. You've been around for a very long time, so salute to you. Salute, double salute to you. I appreciate you so much.
Right on, brother. Thank you.
All right, take care.
All right, you too.
Yep. All right. Can you share the Zoom link? All right. Okay. Sure. Let me share that link. Give me a second. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me open up the Zoom application, and I will drop that link. Give me 1 second, guys and girls, boys and girls. Let me see how I'm gonna do this. Let me open up Zoom. New meeting. Okay, new meeting. Hopefully I'll do this right. Let's see. Join with computer audio to here. Okay, let me set it up here. You're connected to computer audio. Okay, give me one second. Let me make sure everything is working as it should. Because I may need to create a virtual camera here. So give me a few minutes here so everything is working. Let me go to the settings, preferences, video, cam twist, no, OBS. Let's see. 1 second, guys. let me start this virtual camera. So I see I have to start a virtual camera. So let me start this virtual camera. It's a lot more complex than it seems. Let's see. Start virtual camera. There we go. Let me put this password in. Okay. Let's see what happens now. Virtual camera. Let's see. I'm gonna get this right. Mirror my video with the ratio. Let me make sure the audio is good. Okay, I'm getting another call. Give me a second. I'm gonna end that call. I'm gonna call you right back. So whoever just called, I'm gonna call you right back while I'm setting up this virtual camera. So give me 1 second. Just bear with me. Okay, hold on. Let me call you right back here.
Hello?
Peace. Welcome.
Hey, what's going on, God? This is Josh.
Josh, what's going on, man? What's going on with you? Ultimate salute to you. Ultimate salute.
Good? Yeah, good, man. I'm here on the East Coast.
Shout out to the East
Coast.
Coast.
Raining here.
Shout out to the East Coast.
It's raining here.
Okay.
Yeah, I mentioned the rain because we haven't had rain in about 2 months. So I'm just sitting here
okay.
just meditating and just, just being with the rain. I wanted to call in today because a question I got, because sometimes people call me crazy for this, but
okay.
I don't think you will. I see like spirits and stuff like all the time.
Okay.
Like, I'll give you a good example. So this morning it's raining. I saw like water elementals and stuff just playing outside and stuff, and it happens so often where I see spirits that just seems like a normal occurrence to me. So I just want to ask the question, like, am I just not... So am I going crazy, or am I actually seeing what I'm seeing? In my opinion, I think I'm actually seeing the spirits, and I've had, like, conversations and stuff with these spirits, but at times I'll be, like, doubting myself, like, am I really seeing this? Is this really happening? So I just kind of wanted your opinion about, like, seeing like spirits and having interactions with spirits and stuff like that.
Okay.
And spirits of all types. Like it would be like sometimes it'd be animal spirits, sometimes it'd be elementals, and other times it'd be angels, and other times it'd be demons. It's just all types of stuff will just come to me.
So I feel everyone, this is how we even know about spirits in the first place. Somebody had to see them. Somebody had to interact with the spirits in order to record the spirits that we know about. Of course, we know that they didn't just pop out of nowhere. Someone had to document these spirits because somebody had to see it. So just like sailors, I think I mentioned this yesterday, the sailors were actually seeing mermaids, recording their experiences, and now we know about mermaids because someone actually saw them and documented the experience, and they feel like they was crazy because, again, who's gonna believe somebody talking about mermaids or elementals or any type of spirits? So I would say all spirits were observed by someone somewhere. Someone recorded those experiences and documented that so that others can have a similar experience, because all of us are not clairvoyant. So you may have the ability of clairvoyance so that you can see things that other people can't because you are naturally clairvoyant. Obviously, if you say you didn't work for that ability, so that may have been something you inherited from your past, like you were able to see into the spirit plane or the astral plane, whatever we would like to call it. So you're able to observe real phenomena, because this is the purpose of opening up the third eye, so that we can see the totality of existence. See, we're limited. The brain filters majority of what we see. We're only seeing like 10% of what's actually occurring around us. That's just a conscious mind. The conscious mind, or the ego as we like to call it, it wants to filter out everything that it deems unnecessary or that would shake its reality. So if you just saw a spirit sitting in the back of you, the ego wouldn't know how to react. So the ego starts to shake and get uncomfortable, like, yo, why is it a spirit right there? Like, that's not something I'm supposed to be seeing, because we have convinced ourselves that we are not a part of the spirit plane. But yes, there's spirits everywhere at all times doing all types of stuff, because we don't share the same space. Or you can say we do share the same space, just in different dimensions. So you can say there's spirits in your home right now. They may not be in 3D, but in 4D, there are spirits that's occupying the same space, doing all types of stuff. So because you are able to gaze into the fourth dimension, you are able to utilize your clairvoyance and see what's actually going on outside of the 3D realm. I would suggest to you that you document and you record these things, because they are real. Your mind isn't just pretending and making these things up. There's no need for that to occur, because we know how real this stuff gets. So if you're seeing angels, demons, elementals, mermaids, all types of, fairies, you're seeing all types of things. Yes, you are seeing actual phenomenon, because that is your ability, your natural ability of clairvoyance. So the more you document, then you take it into the dream world. You take it into the astral plane. That's how you can further your analysis. You further your analysis. So everything you are seeing while you are conscious, you document it, and then you ponder on it, and you meditate, and you go into a meditation, or you go into a trance state. So whether you're going into the dream world, or you're going into the trance state, or you're going into the astral plane, you will then be allowed to further your analysis, because now you're strictly in 4D, because your conscious mind is shut down, when you're in a trance state or sleeping. So then you can actually have those communications, because you're already saying you can communicate. So you're not just singing, you can actually communicate. Then you go into the trance state so that you can further your analysis, because again, yes, all the things you see are very, very real. Very, very real.
Yeah, because like you just reminded me of a powerful experience I had, because I remember yesterday you're talking about, or maybe it was a couple of days ago, you're talking about like the Olmec spirits.
Yes.
And you're talking about like how all these secrets and stuff in Americas. So obviously I'm over here on the East Coast, and I live in North Carolina.
Yes.
And the thing with North Carolina is there's the Appalachian Mountains.
Yes.
And the Appalachian Mountains are filled with all types of like gems and stuff, like literally gemstones and stuff.
Okay.
So I go there to meditate often. So I go out way deep in the mountains of the Appalachian Mountains, where there's nice forests and water and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so back during, I think it was fall equinox, I went to this like hidden area. Like it was completely beautiful, and I was camping there and everything. And I was deep in meditation, and I was along this huge, like beautiful river where humans don't really go there.
Yes.
And I was out there just camping and meditating,
Mm-hmm.
and this dragon spirit came up out of the water, like huge dragon spirit came up out of the water, and I was pretty much communicating with the dragon spirit for hours. It just got a lot of gems from the dragon spirit.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I actually shared that experience from somebody else I was camping with, because there's also this other little campsite I went to, and I went to this other campsite, and I met this other person. She was a Reiki practitioner, and she was doing a Reiki session on me, and she could literally feel like, hey, you've been in interaction with some type of powerful spirit. Tell me about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even mention to her that had happened like the previous day.
Yes.
And we had a conversation about it. So, yeah, I'm just kind of just, when it happens, especially that experience, it just kind of just shakes me, because I'm like, it just humbles me, because I'm like, well, why do I deserve to have these interactions with spirits? Because like, this is something I feel like everybody should be doing. And it's just powerful, because spirits just have a lot to offer, and and then they will work on your behalf, but you do have to offer things up.
Yes. Yes.
But with some spirits, you have to offer things up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and again, thank you for your work, and just want to mention one other thing, because so a lot of times I've come into a lot of knowledge because spirits come to me and tell me stuff, or I go into deep meditation, or I go to sleep. And when I go to sleep, I go into astral rooms, and I get downloads, and things be telling me stuff that you just can't find in books.
Yes.
So I have
yes.
like a lot of knowledge. A lot of my knowledge doesn't come from like books. It comes from either direct experience with spirits or just things just download to me, or I go into the Akashic records and
Yes.
I'll be at night just be in Akashic records, be studying.
Yes. You are definitely clairvoyant, sir. You're definitely clairvoyant. So the fact that you, like you said, that everyone should be having these experiences, we all have a certain clair, you know, that we are more integrated with. Again, some people are clairvoyant, some people are clairaudient, some people are clairsentient. You know, we all have a certain clair that is more powerful than the others. Of course, we have all of them, but certain ones have to be developed. But we have already put in that work from past lifetimes to, you know, to have whatever abilities we have now. Because I would say I'm not so much clairvoyant. I'm more so clairaudient. Like that will be my strongest clair. So yeah, as I explain, explaining with videos, like I hear the spirits and they announce themselves name, via their name, and that's what caused me to become spiritual, because I wanted to know, how was I able to hear the name of a spirit, look it up, and it's actually something legit. So because I know what happened to me, I know exactly what you're saying, and I know it's real because I'm yes. Like the clairvoyant, the clairaudient, the clairsentient, so on and so forth. These things are very real, and it's not because we necessarily work for them. These are inheritance from our past struggles. So you've already put that work in the past life, and you have gave yourself that gift. That's a gift you gave to yourself, so that you can explore further your spirituality, so that you understand the fullness and the totality of this experience we are having. So that's, again, you're a very, very, very special person, because again, there ain't too many people seeing dragons coming out of waters, definitely. However, when you document your experiences and you document the information that you are gathering, and this is what allows you to help others, because you can see what they cannot naturally. And of course, you do what you must to develop that ability and to develop the other abilities. But the fact that you can have such supreme experiences, I would definitely say document, and then get the further analysis through the trance, through the dreams and the astrals. And again, you have a very, very powerful message and offering to the people, because again, there's just not too many people having those experiences, but through you, because you can have those experiences and you can communicate with spirits, you will be able to help those who may not be able to have those experiences, to get them to a place where they can have those experiences. So your duty is very, very supreme. And I thank you so much for sharing that experiences, because again, there's not too many people that can say that they had that experience. And you're definitely in a very, very special place in the East Coast, in the mountains. So you have access to, there's so much history. Like we've been doing it. We've been going to these sacred places, in the Americas, all over the planet, and we've been putting in that work. So you can say these are the remnants of the work that our ancestors laid down. So the work that the ancestors laid down, when you walk upon those lands, you are feeling everything that has transpired and everything that will transpire in the future, because that is just the ability of you being clairvoyant. So it's this ultimate salute to you, good sir, because again, I can't even have those experiences. So I will humble myself to that. I ain't even seeing dragons like that. I got to be in dream world, in the trance state, to see something like that. So I appreciate you, and I humble myself, because again, that's something that even I can't do at this point. So ultimate respect to you, sir. Ultimate respect to you.
Wow, thank you. Because literally, I've shared some of my experiences with people who aren't on this path, and people call me crazy.
Yeah, because again, they don't understand.
I don't even share it. I just leave it to myself, unless it's I know somebody, or I get the sense that it'd be somebody who's actually open to listening to what I got to say, and I'll tell them hey, I'm having these experiences quite often, or sometimes I can be out in public and I literally see spirits around people, or spirits within people.
Because you are a shaman, good sir. That's shamanism right there. You are a natural shaman. So definitely, if you're not looking into shamanism, you definitely are a shaman, just by what I'm hearing. Like that's the work of a shaman. That's the work of a shaman, where you can see the spirit allies, and again, you may be to pull spirits out of people, put spirits into people. Again, you can to have that spiritual healing. So that is definitely the work of a shaman. So I definitely would say that you are a shaman of this time. No question about that.
Yeah, it's scary. I tell you, because I've seen some stuff. I've seen some crazy stuff.
And then it's
Oh,
that.
and I'm gonna leave off with this. So you remember I was telling you about the experience with the dragon.
Yes.
So I just remembered this. So that particular area I was at is actually called the Dragon, and I didn't even know that the area was called the Dragon.
Crazy.
So I'll tell you about the Reiki person I just went and found right then and there in the mountains. Like the next day, she told me like the area where you're at is called the Dragon, and I just kind of told her I know why it's called the Dragon, because there's a dragon spirit that lives in the water.
Yes.
And that's something that the native peoples used to call that area. It's called the Dragon. That's what the native people called it. So someone,
Correct.
even before me, had probably communicated and talked to that dragon spirit.
Correct.
And people just kept that name. So,
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's why I say this is where the names come from. Like somebody saw that, somebody else, as you just said, interacted with that dragon, and then named it after that dragon, because that dragon, you can say, is a ruler or the lord over that particular place. And that's why I say every city has a spirit or a guardian. So you can say that is a guardian spirit of that particular location, and every location has a guardian spirit. So what you're seeing is, the guardians of, the places that you frequent. And again, that is the work of a shaman, because you can actually perceive these things, and that's why it's your job and your duty to to continue to document that, just as our ancestors have done before. So the same way they were able to name the dragon because they have interacted with the guardian spirit, now the torch has been laid to you, or now you can carry the torch and you can give that further analysis that the ancestors may not have been able to give us in the past. Now you're able to give the 2021 version, the 21st century version of what's going on because you are the 21st century shaman. So your work is definitely supreme. Your work is definitely supreme in that fashion. So you say you come from the line of a shaman. I don't doubt that at all. You say you have shamanism in your family to even have that ability. Somebody in your family, somebody inherited that DNA and gave it to you so that you can give it to the world. I have no doubt about that.
I think it's my great grandmother. I think she was Native American. She was native to these lands.
Absolutely. So that gift is now in your hands for you to do as you choose with it. So I definitely just so much respect to you. So much respect to you for that. The fact that you take it seriously and it's something that you want to further and advance, that's ultimate respect. Because as you see, ain't most people ain't trying to hear that, and they don't even want that responsibility. So the fact that you take it as seriously as you do, ultimate salute to you, sir. I respect that to the utmost degree.
No, all I have to say is thank you, Asha Renu. Thank you for your teachings, and I come on myself and respect your teachings, because I've learned a lot from just listening to you over the years.
Absolutely, and I'm going to continue to bring it. Again, as long as it's useful, as long as people want it, I'm going to continue to bring it. So I definitely appreciate your insight. I appreciate your call. I appreciate your clairvoyance. I appreciate your family. I appreciate your legacy. I appreciate your history and the future, sir. Thank you so much.
All right. Peace, pleasure, much prosperity.
Absolutely. Take care, good sir. All right. I appreciate the shaman so much. So let me get this Zoom link. Let me throw in that Zoom link. Because that's what I was doing in the background. So I think everything is good. I copied the invite link. So let me go ahead and post this link into the comment section so that people can get to the Zoom here. So give me a second to put that link in, because I don't think I can do it from here. So I have to actually go to the YouTube page. So give me 1 second. 1 second. Let's see. No window. Hopefully this works. Let me go to YouTube. And again, I know the Zoom is pretty much, for those outside of America, because everybody, can't call in with that American number. So give me 1 second. I'm going to drop the link right now. Here we go. Okay, let's see. Here we go. Got it. So yeah, I may need to just pin it. So So let me see if I can pin it. There we go. Oh, sorry. Let me get up out of here. Alright, I pinned the Zoom link. So let me put this on screen. Let's see. Okay. All right. So hopefully this works. Hopefully this works. All right, so in the meantime, we continue. You see, I still ain't even smoked this joint. See? You got there yet? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So we don't get to hear shamans speak too often. We don't get to hear shamans speak too often. So that's why I say, that's why I respect everybody, you know, who shares their experiences. I see you, Satori Bloom. You catching up. Definitely. Anybody who's taken any steps towards, you know, activating their spirituality, I give you the ultimate salute, because I know you're going against the grain. I know you're going against the grain. So that's why I want to humble myself and give everybody the respect that they deserve, because I know you're going against the grain, and you could be doing something else, spending your time doing whatever else in the world. But you choose to document your spiritual experiences, you know, and share them with the world. So again, that's why I wanted to offer my platforms, you know, so everyone can share. I know I'm not the only one doing this. I know I'm not the only one. And I'm not going to inflate my ego to think I'm the only one with these abilities. I'm not. So that's why I say we are one. We are one. I can't do everything. I can do some things, but I can't do everything. However, if we in a room full of those who put in that work, there's nothing we cannot accomplish. There's nothing we can't do. So what I can't see, someone else can. What I can hear, then I can share that with others. And that's essentially what I do. So that's why I be running my mouth so much. I guess that's just a result of clairaudience, I guess. That's why I can run my mouth 6, 7, 8 hours if I want to. Cause the spirit just be behind the ear just telling me what's going on. So I've only had one other person mention shamanism to me, because again, they don't know. Shamanism is is one of the oldest systems of spirituality there is. So shamanism is very powerful, very, very powerful stuff. Very powerful stuff. Very powerful. It's more powerful than most of the stuff that's talked about in this new age. You see, yeah, they ain't talking about shamanism in the new age. It's this whole language, this new age language. And ain't too many people talking about shamanism, because that's that old ancient knowledge. That's that old ancient experience. Like you said, you got that directly from your family. Some things we inherit from our families. You know, so that's the thing. Everybody don't have someone in their family that was putting in that work. But those of us that do, we get that gift. That is a gift from our ancestors. Then, if we don't have that gift, we have to work for it. Because I had to work for it. I can't say I was always clairaudient, because I wasn't. I had to work for it. That's why I had to put in these studies. I had to put in these various hours of study just to get to where I am today, so that I can understand what's happening to me. I had to study to understand how to interpret spirit, how to interact with spirit, how I personally interact with spirit. Because I see, for me, it's more telepathic. So, you know, I may not hear the voice of spirits, but they channel ideas and visions to me. Again, it's more internal. It's an internal experience. All right, let's see. All right. So that's why I said I just wanted to extend the platform, because I know I'm not the only one. And there's no need for me to inflate my ego like I'm the only one doing this, because I'm not. So that's why it's nothing for me to humble myself to those who are greater than me in fields that I may not have an expertise in. I don't have an expertise in all fields. But the ones I do have, I extend the knowledge as I can. But yeah, let me stop running my mouth. Let me go ahead and channel in the spirit here. And again, I just want to thank everybody who's calling in, everybody for extending their energy, you know, for the public. I appreciate you boys and girls so much. I appreciate you boys and girls so much. And I know I'm not the only one. And that's why I wanted to do this publicly, you know, so everybody would be able to benefit. Everybody can hear the voice. Everybody can feel that energy. Because I know, again, you guys may be tired of me talking for countless hours at a time. That's why I wanted to bring in more energies. I put in some work too, but I didn't want to share it. I'm a bit humble and often ask, why me? You know, it's just a thing of, it's an inheritance, a spiritual inheritance, that what we would call Jupiter. Jupiter represents our spiritual tree, right? So the planet Jupiter is essentially the spirituality that we inherit from our ancestors. So you could say your Jupiter represents our spiritual father, right? So Jupiter can represent your physical father, but Jupiter also represents our spiritual inheritance. And that's why we study Jupiter. So if anybody want to know about what it is that they inherit from the spirit, all you must do is simply study your Jupiter and how it manifests, because that gives you some insight as to what work has already been put in the past and what we are here to do. And that's why Jupiter also represents the wheel of fortune and destiny. So that's why we look toward Jupiter for our fortune and our star lot. So what is your star lot? What is a lot in your stars? How do you unlock your star lot? Jupiter gives us that first insight. And then we must understand what planets are connected to Jupiter in our houses and, you know, all that technical stuff. But the starting point is Jupiter for us to understand our spiritual tree, our personal tree of life. So our own personal tree of life, you know, comes through our Jupiter. So that's how we can answer those questions. Why you? Because it's the same reason. Because we see the state of the world. The world is, you know, crazy. People like us have to give the balance. We have to. That's why we feel inclined to do so. Because if I didn't feel inclined to do so, I would be somewhere else, you know, doing something completely different. If I didn't feel inclined in my soul to share these experiences, I would be doing something else like everyone else. But there's something in my soul that does not allow me to walk the straight path. I had to take a zig path, right? Angels, demons, and all these spiritual systems. Again, the encyclopedia of spirits, work with all spirits to see what works. How do you personally tap into Mercury? You can personally tap into Mercury using Beth, the Hebrew letter Beth, B-E-T-H, Beth, as an incantation, or just visualize the symbol of Beth. Or the Magician card. If you have a tarot deck, look at the Magician card and stare into the symbolisms and integrate those symbolisms into your memory. So let me actually show you. So you see here, Hebrew letter Beth right there. That is the Hebrew letter Beth. You can visualize that. Number 2. Let me show you the Magician card. So let me get the Magician card so you boys and girls can see the Magician. Here we are right here. So here's the Magician, or the Magus. And you see the Mercury at the bottom. So if you look at the bottom, you see the symbol of Mercury, and you see Beth, that Hebrew letter Beth. It's the Hebrew letter Beth, the symbol of Mercury. So you can actually create the symbol of Mercury. So create the symbol of Mercury, or create the symbol of Beth, or stare into the Magus or the Magician card and commit it to your memory to the point where you can see all this, depending on which tarot deck. This is just a Thoth deck. You can use whatever deck you choose. Commit that energy to memory. As you see those 2 serpents at his head forming into the winged serpent, or that dragon. See the dragon energy? All right, so that's how we illuminate Mercury in our personal lives, and of course study the position of your Mercury in your natal chart, and to see what inheritance you have from Mercury. So that's why we study our natal chart, to see how these energies manifest in our lives on a personal level. So you just have to study your natal chart to see how Mercury manifests for you personally. And of course, here's Jupiter. I think I have it upside down. Here's Jupiter. And that's why we see stars at the top. That represents our star inheritance. What is your star inheritance? We activate Jupiter to understand that. That's why you see the symbol of Jupiter there. And then you see the Hebrew letter Kaf. K-A-P-H, Kaf, Kaf, Kaf. Right? That's our star lot, our wheel of fortune. How do you spend your wheel of fortune? You activate the frequency of Jupiter. You illuminate Jupiter in your chart and study how it materializes in your chart, and how can you maximize the energy of Jupiter in your own personal chart. Right. That's why the tarot, again, that's why most people be using tarot just to fortune tell. The tarot is not for fortune telling. You can use it for fortune telling, but it's more about psychology. It's all about activating that Kabbalah, that tree of life within you. That's what the tarot is supposed to be used for you to activate and illuminate the tree within, your tree of life from within. All right. So you see we're an hour and a half in. I still ain't sparked that joint. Didn't I roll this up at the beginning of this live? But that's just how the spirit works. You see, when the spirit takes over, I put that joint down. I put the alcohol down. It's like nothing else matters. The spirit just needs to illuminate itself. So it's like none of this is even necessary. So that's what I'm thinking. Like, I don't even need the joint to bring in the spirit. The spirit is clearly already flowing. Or just, having the interactions with the people. That also brings in the spirit. Because, we are able to communicate. That communication with the spirit also allows that energy to come in. So that's why I appreciate you boys and girls for allowing me to exchange currency with you. Because again, you can be in bed right now sleeping in dreamland. With the triple stages of darkness in the Kabbalah, how do you work with them? Okay, so the triple stages of darkness is the Ein Sof Sofer. Right? So if we look at the Ein Sof Sofer, it's translated as the void. So the Ein is the void. The Ein Sof is the limitless all. And the Ein Sof Sofer, or the Ein Sofer. So it's Ein Sof, and Ein Sofer. So Ein is the void. Ein Sof is the limitless all. And the Ein Sofer is the infinite light. So the triple stages of darkness can be divided into three forms: the Ein Sof, and the Ein Sofer. The void, the limitless all, and the infinite light. So how do you work with them? You just chant the words. Ein, you can chant Ein Sof, or Ein Sofer. So if you want to bring in the void, Ein. If you want to bring in the limitless all, Ein Sof. If you want to bring in the infinite light, Ein Sofer. And we know Sof is short for Sophia. And Sophia is the building blocks, or the cornerstone of what we call philosophy. Philosophy comes from Sophia. So to integrate the philosophy of the Kabbalah with the philosophy of the clip-off, that is the goddess Sophia. So truly, if you want to work with the triple stages of darkness, you work with the triple goddess of Sophia. Sophia is a triple goddess. So it is through Sophia, or the Ein Sof Sofer, that we integrate with the triple darkness, right? And that is the Kabbalah. I'm in NYC. We never sleep. Shout out to the vampires. Shout out to the vampires. You guys heard in the song. That's because their true soul is vampiric. Right? Others listen. But the chosen, they receive it. Others listen. The chosen receive it. Because their true soul is vampiric. So shout out to the vampires. Shout out to the vampiric souls. Shout out to the sleepwalkers. The walking dead. The vampires, the ghouls, the goblins, all those spooky things that nobody wants to interact with, but that we embody. We embody what the world fears. The world fears its own unconscious mind. We are the unconscious mind that the world fears. We are the karma that the world generates. We are the law of reversal. And nobody's behind. Nobody's behind. Everybody's exactly where they need to be. So even if you feel you're new to this, you're really not new to this. You're just seeking how to deal with it. Right? Do you want to go to the tree of life? Do you want to go to the tree of death? Do you want to start at the top? Do you want to start at the bottom? You're just trying to figure out where you want to start on the Kabbalah, again, which is the map of the universe. So you're just figuring out where you are on the map of the universe, and that's why the Kabbalah is so intricate. Can you elaborate on the science of the vampire? The vampire represents, well, if we want to get technical here, a vampire is simply their solar plexus has become lunar. Because when we talk about chakras and we talk about the solar plexus, your solar plexus is your inner sun. So if the solar plexus is your inner sun, if your solar plexus becomes lunar charged, that makes you a vampire. Why? Because you are able to integrate with the currency of death. Remember, vampires did not drink blood. That is a modern day representation of vampires, just to degrade them. Vampires were not going around sucking people's blood from their necks. Vampires actually absorb your chi, or your energy, or your kundalini. So vampires actually operate off of kundalini. So a vampire, or the vampire, is powered by the kundalini. So when you are rising your kundalini, you are in fact becoming a vampire, because you are increasing that kundalini force, those serpent or that dragon magic. The more you do that dragon magic, you become the vampire. You become the spirit of the vampire. Why? Because you can absorb dark energy. Everybody can absorb dark energy. It'll make them go crazy. It's like having a full body orgasm. It's too overwhelming. Let anybody have a full body orgasm, you can barely control yourself. But the vampire is able to absorb that dark energy and manipulate it and formulate it into dark matter and do all type of magnificent things with it. So that's just the most basic definition. You can absorb dark energy without it essentially destroying you, without all this negative stuff. Because we hear about that all the time, people working with demons and ghouls and goblins and all type of negative shit, because they were not able to handle the dark energy that they are absorbing. They couldn't handle it. But the vampire can handle it. When you work with the tree of death, when you work with the clip off, that's what you're training for. You work with the clip off or the tree of death to train yourself to integrate with dark energy and dark matter. So to be the spirit of the vampire is just, your body can handle dark energy and dark matter. Right, there you go. Okay. So give me 1 second here. I'll be right back. Just gonna take a little sip of something. Give me 1 second. Drink on a little lemonade. No, I don't need to do that on camera. Give me 1 second. Alright. I think it'd be crazy if I just showed you guys just me drinking some lemonade. So just being respectful. So anyway, let me bring in the spirit. So again, I don't want to make this too long. We can wrap it up in next 20 minutes. Would it be about 2 hours? So we'll wrap it up. Never heard it like that, the way you said it. I felt everything you said. Yeah, because can't nobody tell you that if they not a part. Can't no non-vampire tell you how to be a vampire. So you know I'm a vampire. That's why I be talking about this darkness. What else is there for me to talk about? But of course, we're here to be balanced, to mix the dark and the light. But you mix the dark, it makes you a vampire. You start integrating, it makes you a vampire. Then you work with the light so that you can absorb the light, because the light can overwhelm. You can be blinded by light too. That's why you work with angels, so that the light is not overwhelming for you to bear. Again, like the light of Kether. The light of Kether will blind your ass. Looking directly into the sun will blind your ass. But when you start working with angels, it may not be the case. It's like wearing sunglasses. You can gaze into highly illuminated light without it burning your eyes. So that's why you would work with angels, so that you can perceive light that other people cannot perceive, because it will burn their eyes. Right? Others listen, the chosen receive it. That's because their true soul is vampiric. Way before Vedic, Druidic. Look at that dance, it's satiric. That's why I say what I say in the rhymes. All that's real shit. All that's real shit. Before Vedic, Druidic. So that's talking about dragon magic. See, again, everybody's on that Vedic time. Everybody's on Kundalini. They don't know about that Dravidian magic. Dravidian magic, that's a whole... See, everybody's on that Vedic time. I'm telling you, go to the Druidic time. Way before Vedic, Druidic. That's that original chaos magic. That's that original Kundalini dragon magic. That's why I say what I say. That's why I'm saying this. That's why I put it into rhymes. Cause I can say this all day. You see, I be talking for hours at a time. But when I put it into music and I make it into just a few minutes long, I just compress all the information into just a couple minutes. It's not easy to do, but it's very necessary to do, because it's technomancy. I told you guys and girls, boys and girls, about technomancy. Technomancy is what's popping right now. We must evolve into technomancers. Get off of the traditional magic. We don't need to do that traditional shit that we've been doing for thousands of years. No disrespect to the ancestors, but the ancestors were advanced at that time. So what the ancestors were doing, they were advanced for what they were doing at that time. Excuse me. Now we must evolve into technomancers, because we have technology in abundance. So we must integrate our spirituality with technology, because we are in the 21st century. And what's advancing faster than technology? Only the spirit. The spirit is the only thing moving faster than technology. So when you integrate spirit in technology, you become either a technomancer or a technocrat. So these are words that the masses know nothing about. Technomancer and technocrat. They don't even know what that is. They don't even know what that is. But you know what it is now. Asha, would you be down to collaborate on some music? Yeah, I told you. Send your music to my email, ash@asharenu.com. Let me hear what you spitting. So yeah, if I see you, okay, yeah, you trying to go somewhere with it, then yeah. Definitely. You can definitely get a feature from Asha Renu. You can definitely get a feature from me. And I keep the prices low. I ain't gonna charge you out the ass either. I ain't gonna do you like that. There's no reason to. So it's affordable. The prices are affordable. It's basically the same price if you was getting a service from me. So everything is like 100. So it's basically it's the equivalent to getting a service, a NATO region done. You pretty much get charged the same with what everybody else pay. You just get 16 bars instead of a NATO region. So I keep everything affordable. There's no reason for me to overcharge anybody. And again, that's why I also, want to give everyone an opportunity to speak as well. Because again, it's not all about money. It's about the currency. That's what it's all about. So that's why I wanted to give everyone an opportunity to speak and allow their voices to be heard in exchange currency. So that's what it's about. It's about the currency exchange. So that's why I say it don't matter if you like the video, it don't matter if you comment, it don't matter, if you share the video, whether you donate, it's all about the currency. as long as you are exchanging currency, it's all good. So even if you don't have any money in your pocket, all you gotta do is like the video, leave a comment, share the video. As long as you are exchanging the currency, we all good. We all good. So I'm gonna continue to show up. So that's all I ask. Just let's continue to exchange currency. So again, if you choose to do that in the form of money, salute to you. But if you do it in another way, salute to you. It's all currency. So as long as we continue to exchange currency, I can continue to show up, do what I do. We all feel good. We all feel better. We all feel charged up. The Kundalini is rising. We activating the dragon magic. We becoming more and more vampiric. And we'll get it in. We're going to continue to evolve. We're going to continue to do what we do. One thing people don't mention about the natives of America was that most of them were dark-skinned people. They were probably the descendants of the Olmec. They also have links to Kemet. You are exactly right. And I learned that by going to the Grand Canyon. When I went to the Grand Canyon, it all made sense to me. Spirit was talking to me like none other. Again, when we hit these spiritual spots, all of that makes sense. And yes, that's why we don't know anything about the Olmecs. Yes, because we understand where they come from. We understand that they were killed off. They didn't just disappear. So yes, these were original people that were killed off. So we already know. Our history has tried to be deleted from this planet. They have tried to delete our history from this planet. But again, we have the invisible temples, as I spoke about before. We have invisible temples. We have sacred lands that cannot be deleted. And that's why we still have this energy to this day. That's why people like me exist and people like you exist. Because we are the descendants of the original American people. Why else would we be here? We here to make money? Or are we here to evolve spiritually through technomancy and become technocrats? You have to become a technomancer to become a technocrat. And that's the goal. Your goal should be a technocrat through technomancy. Ain't nobody else on this fucking internet gonna tell you that. Technomancy to evolve into a technocrat. That is the 21st century. This is the century we are in. We're not gonna make it to the 22nd, but we're here for the 21st. In this current form, at least. So in the 21st century, we are here to be technomancers and eventually technocrats. So you heard it here first. Thank you so much for the platform. My first time listening. I'm going to replay this today. No doubt, no doubt. Again, I'm going to do my best to, again, allow other voices on the platform. Because again, you see, I can talk forever. But when people hear the voices of others, I feel it becomes more balanced. It becomes more balanced. So I appreciate the men for calling in, because yesterday we had the women calling in. Salute to the women. Today we had the men calling in. So I appreciate all of you so much, because you didn't have to do it. You didn't have to do it. Because I know it takes a little courage. I know this is a public format. Everybody doesn't necessarily want to be, publicly heard. So I understand some people want to speak in private. And you can speak in private, no problem. I don't have a 9-to-5. I just deal with the occult and take a lot of heat for not having a job and the energy I deal with it. That's what I'm saying. It's not easy. I know it's not easy. I absolutely know it's not easy. But okay, you just decide, okay, I need to master myself. It's not about a 9-to-5. It's not about making money. It's about generating currency. As long as you are generating currency, putting in that tomb work, putting in that spiritual work, putting in that Kabbalistic magic, putting in that dragon magic, evolve into a vampire. This should be your goal. Then can't nobody tell you shit, because you will supersede all of them who have something to say. And I'm not telling you that you shouldn't get a job either, because you can take over that territory too. So don't even look at it as, okay, I'm lowering myself because I get a 9-to-5. You're not, because you can activate that magic within that 9-to-5 and make that environment yours. So I also want to give people that perspective. We don't have to stay outside of the workforce. If you choose not to, you can go into that workforce and take that shit over too. There's nothing off limits to you. So yeah, so it ain't about us versus them versus us. any environment that you step into, you can control, because you are putting in the work to do so. You are influencing your consciousness, and you are influencing the forces of nature. So whatever territory you step in, make sure you put in that work so that you are ranked up, so that you have supremacy over your consciousness and over the forces of nature. So again, so we are the Lord of all worlds, the gods and the goddesses of all worlds, corporate America and the underground and everything in between. We can take over any of these places. So it's all about where you fit in. What field do you want to take over? So that's all you have to ask yourself. So if you ain't a part of the corporate world, you may prefer the underground. If you ain't part of the underground, you may prefer the corporate world. You may want to be an independent contractor. You may want to work for yourself. You may just want to do gigs, where people pay you for gigs, whatever your skill set is. So whatever your skill set is, master it, because that's when the money comes. The money comes through mastery. So when you master your skill set, people will pay for mastery. Everybody loves mastery, to be able to create mastery on this planet. That is what I do with my 9 to 5. I work from home because I told them I was, and I work from 5 to 3 because I told them that's how it's going to be. Precisely, exactly. Manipulate this world as you see fit. However you choose to make money is completely up to you. Just make sure that you are at peace within yourself, and if you are not at peace, create peace. Because again, you may hate your boss, you may hate your job, but once you activate this, you activate that heart currency. You start manipulating that currency, things change. It's not the boss that's going to change. It's not the job that's going to change. We must change from within. We must manipulate our own DNA. And when we manipulate our own DNA, now people start to act different around you. They start to treat you different because you are changing yourself from the inside out. You're not waiting for them to change. They ain't going to never change. You change. Every day you're evolving. Every day you're growing into the fullness of yourself. And then the world responds to that. The world will respond to your personal growth. So, and that's how you change your environment. So if you want to change your environment, it has to start from your own DNA. And that's the energy of Pluto. You start with Pluto. That's why Pluto is at the top. Pluto is at the top. That crown yourself. But you must be the Lord of the underworld. You must activate the Hades. You must descend into the infernal mysteries. That's how you start manipulating shit. Descend, not ascension. Descend into the infernal mysteries, so that you can see what you're really made of, so that you can become a dragon. So you said vampire is like a form of a dragon. Basically, vampires are a form of a dragon. So the more you embody that draconic and that Vedic frequency, you will start to see things moving in your favor. Right? Alright, so again, I'm not going to hold you boys and girls too long here. So let me go ahead and light this up. So you see 2 hours in, I wrote this at the beginning. I didn't even light it up. Just show you how strong spirit is. Didn't even need it. Spirit already came through again. I appreciate the exchange. All I needed was that exchange. You see, got the wheels turning. All I needed was that exchange. Didn't even need this. So I just want to show that. You know what I mean? We're not slaves to any vice. We are not slaves to any vice. Why do some people like myself dislike the daytime and the sun? Because it's for you to master the darkness, the dark matter and the dark light. It's for you to master the dark matter and the dark light. And then once you master the dark, then you begin to come to the light. To the point where the light doesn't bother you. That's Blade, right? Remember the movie Blade? Just think about the movie Blade. He was a vampire, but he did not get burned by the sun. He was in between. Remember the movie Blade? He was in between. He was a vampire that could walk in the sun, what the other ones could not, because they were fully clip-offic. But remember, we balance the dark and the light. So we are vampires that can walk in the sun. We can handle the illumination of the light. We are not afraid of the light, because again, that makes us no better than anyone else. We are vampires that can walk and that can bear the light. And again, because we are able to mix, we're able to mix the dark and the light, the angels with the demons. So that's why it is. So if you don't like the sunlight and the sun, master the darkness, then go into the light, slowly but surely. Be the vampire that can bear the sun. It ain't that you can't be a vampire, but be the vampire that can bear the light of the sun, that can bear the light of the day, that can handle the madness of this world. All right, so give me 1 second here. Let me go ahead and light this up. And as I said, I just want to continue to thank everyone, because you don't have to do it. Like I said, we see nobody's getting paid here. YouTube is not paying me for this. Nobody's getting paid here. We're just simply exchanging currency, you know. But that, you see, that's all we need. That's all we need, because once you take this energy into your day, hopefully your day is more magnificent than it would have been, because we were able to engage with each other and share each other's love and light. So I ain't afraid to say love and light. You know, so I've been talking about the darkness, right? Because we're not afraid of the light. We don't fear the light. We integrate with the light. But we have our base in the darkness. All right? Let me light this up. So all praises to the ancestors, known and unknown. All praises due. All praises due. So I'm gonna continue to thank you guys and girls, boys and girls. I'm gonna continue to praise you, because I know ain't nobody else is. We be trying to get this shit from the world. Fuck the world. I'm gonna praise you though. I'm gonna praise you. I'm gonna continue to give you your praise. I'm gonna always praise you, because I know how it is out here. So I'm gonna always give you the ultimate respect and the ultimate praise. I'm gonna always praise you. That's what you're gonna get from me. I'm gonna always praise you. You're gonna get forever for is infinite love, infinite praise, because I know how it is out here. So you're gonna get nothing but love from me. Because I know this world don't love us, but I love you. And I have no problems with saying that. This world don't love us, but I love you. And I'm going to always show you the ultimate love, irregardless of who you are. I'm going to always show you the ultimate respect. And again, that's why I take the time out to do this. I'm going to always show you absolute respect and absolute love. Because we know we need it. We know we need it. Stop playing. We know we need it. So I'm going to continue to humble myself. Again, that's why I love when you guys, you know, interact and exchange currency with me. All it does is humble me. I'm completely humble, and I'm completely thankful. I'm completely humbled, and I'm completely thankful, because I know you guys, and you guys don't owe me nothing. You boys and girls don't owe me a goddamn thing. So the fact that you actually exchange energy with me is I have to humble myself, because it didn't have to be done. Nobody's obligated to do anything for anybody. So the fact that it's done out of pure love, I have nothing but ultimate respect for that. So let me go ahead and take this Zoom off here. Let me go ahead and close this down. So yeah, we ain't gonna worry about the Zoom right now. Again, I appreciate everybody. Let me go ahead and close this down. We're gonna end that. So yeah, there we go. Let me go ahead and close these calls down. Let me close all this down. All right. So as I said, I love all of you from the depths of my soul, from my infernal clip-offic soul that will soon integrate with the light. And I'm going to tell you that every time. Because we are one. I would not be here if it wasn't for you. I want to make that very clear. If I didn't have the currency exchange, I couldn't be here. It's because of you that I can share what the Spirit speaks to me and convey it to you. Because the Spirit wants it to be known. So I'm going to continue to do it. See, I'm not even a smoker anymore. It's crazy. That's what happened when you fast. I don't even feel like a smoker anymore. Like, it's hurting my throat and shit. Throat hurting and shit. So if you fuck with me, go ahead and drop that 93 before we get up out of here. So if you fuck with me, go ahead and drop the 93. And we'll depart. Thank you so much. So I'll go ahead and finish this off. Again, I just wanted to exchange energy. I'll go ahead and take a drink too. I'll take a drink in the name of 93. I'll go ahead and take a drink with you guys. And I wish all you boys and girls the best. I wish you all the best in the coming days, months, years, and lifetimes. Let me go ahead and take the drink. I just want to celebrate. I want to celebrate you. Not me. I want to celebrate you. I want to celebrate you. It's a fucking celebration. '93, '93, '93, '93.